Boy, filming these review videos sure sucks. I mean, I have been tail whipped, stomped, spat at, and chewed on. Honestly, I have no idea how it could possibly get any worse. What is up, everyone? It's Killer Shrew Fan coming to you with another review video today, and today we are just one short day away from the worldwide premiere of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. It opens tomorrow here in the States, and to the rest of the world who has already seen it already, I am super jelly right now. Don't rub it in, but I'm gonna get my fix tomorrow. But today, for our review, I thought it would be very fun to take a look at this figure. It is the Mosasaurus with real feel rubber skin by Mattel. And the reason I really wanted to do this one the day before Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is this one, out of all the figures that Mattel has given us, feels the most nostalgic. It feels the most like a Kenner figure. At least to me, it's one of the most Kenner-esque figures that we have gotten from Mattel. And, you know, before we rein in the new stuff that we will be getting with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I think it's fun to take a step back and kind of remember the older stuff. So we're going to start our review video today by taking a look at the packaging, as we always do, and then we are going to give you a closer look at this Mosasaurus. So without further ado, let's do this! So, taking a look at the box art, in the top left corner you can see the Jurassic World logo there, and in between the jaws of the Mosasaurus they have got a shark cutout, and the jaws are fixed that way in the packaging, so a very cool display piece, looks just like in the movies. If we move down the box, you can see Mount Sibo in the distance erupting in fire and flames, and something different about this one, you can see the water of the Mosasaur paddock illuminating and reflecting that orange glow. Very cool box art here. And then of course you can see the splash as the Mosasaurus erupts out of the water, breaking the surface, and it is even cut out here down at the bottom. You can see that this Mosasaur measures approximately 71 centimeters or 28 inches long, and there you can see the broken apart paddock. Owen in blue roaring triumphantly, and one of the main pulls of this Mosasaurus is its real feel rubber skin, which you can stick your finger through there and feel it for yourself in the store. The bottom of the box, you see that real feel Mosasaurus 3+ years warning, and it does come unassembled, so what you see is not all of what you get. Flipping to the back of the box, you can see this lovely diagram of the Mosasaurus swimming in her water there, and the bones of the Indominus Rex that we have seen in the trailers. Lovely box art here. So great to see Mattel paying so much attention to what we get in the actual film. Once again, you can see all of the logos, the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom logo, bars of the cage, Owen in blue down in the bottom left corner. And once again, we have Mosasaurus real feel skin running across the bottom in multiple languages. Up the side you can see real feel skin once again. You've got a little hole that you can feel the texture through. And again, this Mosasaurus measures 71 centimeters or 28 inches long. The side of the box features the Jurassic World logo once again, and we are reminded to get the Jurassic World Facts app, so that way you can scan the QR code of your dinosaur's foot into the phone and learn more about the species. And now, without further ado, I do believe it is time that we take this Mosasaurus out of the pack. Oh wait, we don't have to! Ba-boom! Second Mosasaurus there for you guys. Yes, remember the friend that I had who was ready to get rid of some of his Jurassic World collection? Well, he also had one of these, and I snatched it up right away, mostly because I do feel that this particular model is definitely one that you may want to consider getting multiples of, just because it is so, large and so throwback, so retro, and honestly, I haven't seen it much in the wild. I really haven't. I'm sure other people are different. I'm sure it's a case-by-case thing in different states and cities, but the one time that I bought mine was the time that I saw it in stores. I think I've seen it in stores twice. In two completely different stores in two completely different cities. I've only seen it twice in stores. So I don't know if these things are just selling like hotcakes and I'm always late to the party and I just never see them, or if Mattel just didn't make a lot of them. So that is why I wanted to get a second one, and honestly the other reason is it's just so cool. It's just so cool. We're going to take a look at it for you here, and as always we're going to start off with the head. So, taking a look at the head, as you can see, there isn't as much texturing or detail up in this area as there is on the rest of the body, but it is definitely still there and still noticeable. The teeth are individually sculpted and the paint seems very cleanly applied to them. The eye is a nice lime green color with a black dot pupil and a nice gloss put over it, and the lower jaw features lovely wrinkles and bags of skin running over the muscles in that area. Very cool sculptural details on this head. If we open the jaw, you can see they have sculpted details in here as well, including a tongue, the palate, and even that extra set of jaws in the top of in the roof of the mouth there. You've got some teeth. They are not painted, but just the fact that they sculpted those in really shows how much attention to detail Mattel pays when they are making their dinosaur toys. And it is all painted a lovely pink color with a nice high gloss. The cheek flaps are also painted, so great to see that they are paying that much attention in their paint department. If we move down the body, you can get a better look at all of the texturing that comes with this Mosasaurus, the folds of skin, the sort of circle pebble-like scales, the crosshatch scaling, the alligator scoots that start just at the base of the skull and run down to the length of the tail. You've got some lovely bags of skin folding up around the flipper and the gut region there, and there you can see the sort of crosshatch scaling with some bumps and lumps in the gut region. Once we hit the back flipper, it's the same story with those folds of skin. There you can see the connecting point for where the tail attaches to the body, and as you can see, the crocodilian-like scales continue up the length of the tail and become more and more jagged as you get to the fluke or rudder, if you prefer. Moving up the opposite side, it's really the same story with in terms of sculptural detail. You've got the pebble-like scales and bumps and everything, the crocodilian-like spines. You've got cords pulling as the tail flicks slightly off to the left, and once we get to the main body, you see more of that lovely texturing, the wrinkles of skin around the flippers or paddles. And then we come back up to that beautifully sculpted Mosasaurus head that looks absolutely fantastic. You can kind of see the top features the two nostrils kind of halfway up the head, not at the bottom of the snout. The flippers are a hard plastic, unlike the rest of the body, and they too feature so much sculptural detail. I mean, they've got wrinkles, striations, circular pebble-like scales, and really it's the same story for the front flippers and the back flippers, and they feature this lovely gradiating darker blue that is also present on the dorsal region of the Mosasaurus. And the thing is about this one, we don't have to worry about unpainted toe claws because obviously there are no toe claws. It's a flipper. But yes, lovely sculptural detail on all of this. Mattel really did not leave anything unattended to with this Mosasaurus model. If we move along the length of the underbelly, I know it's a little washed out, but there is a lot of sculptural detail here as well. It's mostly wrinkles and bags of skin. It's extremely pronounced down in the gut region, about halfway down the creature, and as you can see, it is painted with a white color that gradiates really nicely into the blues of the torso, and the white color does continue down the length of the tail. The back right flipper features the Jurassic World emblem. It is now on the bottom of the foot, unlike the thigh that Hasbro used to do, the thigh marking. And if we take a look here, this is the important part that everyone loves. It is the QR code to scan. Oops, went a little too far there. Hold on, we're going to give you a nice clear look. Maybe. There we go. There's a nice look at that QR code for you to scan into your phone. Here's your chance if you want to get in on the digital action of Jurassic World. So, the main draw of this Mosasaurus is the real feel rubber skin, but it does have points of articulation. The flippers can be rotated or moved in and out, back and forth, giving you a lot of different posing options. On your shelf, the jaw, as we showed before, does open and close. It is a harder plastic than the rest of the body, and like the flippers. Both sides same movement really. Lots of posing option. Well, not lots, but it is a very fluid motion and very easy to move these flippers. So you can pose it kind of perched or kind of just starfishing. And then the real feel rubber skin here, I gotta say, it doesn't feel as good as the Kenner stuff in the day. It feels more like a very soft plastic than a rubber. I don't know if I'm vocalizing myself right there, but expressing my thoughts how I exactly want them to, but it doesn't feel quite as good. It feels great, don't get me wrong, especially with all the sculptural details. I mean, this does feel like an actual reptile I am stroking here. I mean, I don't know. Mattel, I think, did a very good job with this. I'm pleased with it. Now, the real feel rubber skin really is the big draw of this Mosasaurus, but there is another potential factor that makes people really like this figure, and that is the fact that it is waterproof, or at least the guy at Mattel's New York Toy Fair was saying it was waterproof. I've heard some people saying Mattel actually said it's not waterproof, but I've heard other people say it is, and honestly I can see why it wouldn't be. You can see you've got kind of cracks and crevices down in the jaw region and in the flipper area. Water could easily get into points where the tail attaches. Like, there are all these areas that water could get into, but on a plus side, there's nothing in this toy that the water would damage. You know, there's no electronics, there's no mechanisms or anything that would get messed up. You really just have to air it out and dry it off, and I think you would be good to go. So yes, I do think that this is a toy that is safe to use in the water as well. Kids can play with it in the bathtub or in the pool, or people who do dinosaur toy photography can take it to a beach and do some photo ops there, or create dioramas with this Mosasaurus. Really, the door is wide open with what all can be done with this Mosasaurus toy. I think it's fantastic in that department. As far as the paint job goes, that's another thing that Mattel did a very good job on. Like I said before, we have got a white underbelly which gradiates nicely into a sort of baby blue mid-region there, and then a dark blue dorsal area with the baby blue striping in between, and then you've got some black flecking going on as well. Now, the size of the Mosasaurus is indicated at 26 or 28 centimeters, I don't remember, or 28 inches exactly, but I did want to bring in yesterday's review of the Thrash and Throw Tyrannosaurus Rex, and honestly, I don't know. I do think that these are a little out of proportion with each other. Like, if we put the Rex in Mosey's jaws here, yeah, that doesn't look in scale with one another. I mean, Rexy here is almost as long as our Mosasaurus, but if we have the Carnotaurus here, he seems like if the Carnotaurus was actually a T-Rex, that seems like a much more appropriate size. I mean, the Mosasaurus could pretty much just fit the Indominus Rex in its mouth. It totally pwned that thing in size, and the Indominus Rex was much bigger than the T-Rex, and yet the Rex sizes up almost identical to the Mosasaurus. It doesn't feel right to me. And of course, we've got our good friend Chris Pratt here doing a size comparison, showing off his latest excursion in training dinosaurs in prehistoric life. Here he has trained the Mosasaurus to do a trick similar to Shamu at SeaWorld, but probably not a good idea. Well, everyone, that is going to do it for our look at the Real Feel Mosasaurus by Mattel. Honestly, I do think this is a fantastic model. It's pretty simple in its posing options and its articulation. It's just kind of generic in that department. But the real draw to this is the sculptural detail and the real feel rubber skin, which I think Mattel really just knocked out of the park. Now for the age-old question, who done it better, Mattel or Hasbro? Mattel, you know, that's not even one I'm going to hesitate on. Mattel's worst is still head and shoulders above Hasbro's best. Everything that Mattel has done blows Hasbro's best out of the water. No pun intended, but yeah, no, that's how I feel. As always, I would love to hear what you guys think of this model. Do you own it yet? Are you going to pick it up? I highly encourage you do, but are you going to? Are you hoping for more real feel dinosaurs like this one? Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Your support means the world to me. If you enjoyed our review today and you feel we've earned it, don't be afraid to let us know we did a good job by hitting that like button. And don't forget to subscribe on your way out so you don't miss any of our future video reviews. Thanks again for tuning in, and that's going to do it for us today. Killer Shrew Fan out.